Well, men and women are refusing to come together. So I think one of the first things you got to do is you got to take away the promiscuity. You've got to make slut shaming great again. Marriage strike. Okay, that was the other one he said, marriage strike. Well, men and women are refusing to come together. So I'm not going to call it a marriage strike. I'm going to call it the refusal to come together. So you need some changes in policies and law there where your benevolent dictator will come into play and solve many of these problems for you. One of the first ones that you can solve, because the hesitancy for men to marry today forces women to come into the workforce because they got to provide for themselves, because men are no longer providing for them because they're working for themselves, and they're sometimes not taking, family creation seriously. They're passing on it completely, or they're doing it at arm's length, or they're doing it in innovative different ways today to sort of circumvent some of the risk factors. But what is it that's discouraging men from getting married? Mostly losing half their shit. Family laws that encourage women to behave badly and divorce their husbands without consequences, alienate them from their children. So you got to remove those things, right? There has to be consequences for alienating the father from his kids. There has to be consequences for wanting to untie the knot for stupid reasons. Because I'm bored, or I'm tired of him, or he said something mean to me 4.2 years ago, or he banged his secretary that one time, or some shit like that. I covered that in a video, by the way, on Entrepreneurs and Cars. I said very, very clearly that women that untie the knot over a minor indiscretion are incredibly selfish by alienating the father from their kids and stealing the wealth and all that sort of stuff. So you have to discourage the ending of marriage, because that's what's preventing guys and gals to come together. From the perspective of men, it's, I'm probably going to lose half my shit. She's more than likely, once I lose half my shit, going to use my wealth to alienate me from my own children. And then I'm going to have all these difficulties that are all consequences of it. So you have to take those incentives away. You have to reform family law. There's no division of assets. You take what you came in with. I take what I came in with. I'll take care of the kids. If you really want to go, like, I'll take care of what the kids need. The problem is that the child support tables, and I covered this in my book, you're a strong income earner. You could be compelled, even though it only takes $500 or $600, to maintain the life of that child when it comes to housing and food and clothing and all that sort of stuff. Whatever the tables say, you could be compelled to pay $3,000 or $4,000 in child support for when the kids living under your roof only cost you $600. So the money's not going to look after the kid. The money's going to mom, which then turns into handbags and shoes and a bunch of other crap. So you have to take away the things that are ruining the formation of families, right? So reform of family law in those areas that I talked about. So how do you incentivize women to have children and want to get involved with men? I think one of the first things you got to do is you got to take away the promiscuity. You've got to make slut shaming great again. I hate to say it, but all right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here, where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the Courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.